The origin of connubial bliss. Dear Katherine and Sarah, you have heard many versions of this origin story, but let me make it official. I will always remember the night of April 2nd, 1994. It was the night I walked out of a desert, the night that ended my night, the night that redirected my days, the night I met your mother. Earlier, before her name, I was down. My moods ebbed and flowed between morose, melancholy, and macabre. Pick any M. I was supposed to see a woman, a myth as messy as mud. Grief nourishes only for so long. Such grief I believed romantic, a knight rescuing the princess, but I decided once and for all, once again, to forget the pain of the past. Could life be refreshed, restarted, rebooted? Pick any R. My buddy Alec was rewriting. We were always revising. How about revising life rather than fiction? Writing is often a hamster wheel with so much energy and no distance. This intensified the self-pity, constructing dark paths into inner worlds rather than staircases to the heavens. The advice of my great friend Dan clanged in my ear. His advice often smacks with the tartness of truth. He called, "Get off your ass. Find a babe." I had just moved into my flat in Elkins Park, PA, north of Philly, grown a beard, and was halfway through grad school for English. I felt good. The beard provided confidence. Had dated a couple of girls, both young, both briefly, and both not exciting. Both not excited by me. The advice of your grandmother also told a metallic ding in my belfry. Attend a business singles dance at Boathouse Row in Philly. Since she was active in the organization, I paused at the suggestion. I had once worked for the guy who ran the thing, collecting money from the singles. I even dated two women from that thing. Not the young girls, but these were nice girls. Women, making them laugh. Your grandmother claimed women would flock to me. Fitzgerald was right about cocktail tables. A solitary man can hang out all night there and not look awkward. But I chatted with the ladies. I would make jokes, and they would tell my mom I was the most intoxicating man at the party. Well, they might have used interesting. Sure, the crowd was older. They would not like Pearl Jam or REM, but I had outgrown being a boy. Or had I? I had my own love shack, apartment monastery, taking an ABBA chance. I called Alec. I recall the twisting of arms and the protestations of please repeated ad nauseum. I promised a feast of mature and attractive women. Too busy singing Blondie's Heart of Glass, we got lost along Kelly Drive in Philly. Confident, in a super mood, I was doing something. Even if I met no one, at least I was with my friend. We arrived shortly after 9 and paid $10. Then my mood soured. The crowd was sparse, acute geriatric. We nursed many beers, or near beers, and wandered to the deck that overlooked the river and the art museum. Could the slight breeze sweep me away into the night? What a waste. Sudden mood changes were common like Florida rainstorms. The room, however, upon return, was filling. Some seemed within my range, even cute. I was 24. I'd never dated anyone long enough to drop the word girlfriend. Seeing her face was the greatest surprise. She was talking to an Ed. Ed, isn't that erectile dysfunction? Was Ed the opposition? There's no ED in Walter unless used as a verb. I got so Waltered last night. You see, sexual jealousy runs deep with me. All men, the opposition. I recall your mother's soft and long mane. Not until later did I know it was naturally, luxuriously auburn. It was dark. Was this a scene straight out of West Side Story? The best-looking woman is over there, I told Alec. Until I summoned the courage, she was not aware of Walter, only old men with such names. Until that hello, I continued sucking up near beer, discussing topics verboten, like the joys of Joy Division, the dilemma between the modernist and the postmodernist movement in literature. Alec even pondered the line, "Do you think I'm evil?" Just say, "Hello, my name is Alec." No, 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 too easy. Not dramatic enough. When Mary Jane was alone, I moved without thinking, channeling lessons from the Tao. Walk without walking, think without thinking. If I pondered too long like Hamlet, debilitated by doubt, I would not have been pondering pickup lines. I recall her black stockings and her black and gray pleated skirt. Conversely, I was costumed in hiking boots and jeans and a plaid flannel shirt, better suited for a Nirvana concert. Excuse the sexism, girls, but her shape looked very, very, very good. Love, if Yeats is to be believed, does first come through the eyes. And what if her personality matched her beauty? What if her brains matched her warmth? What if her warmth matched her morals? And what if her morals matched the depth of her soul? I speed walked over, noticed her name tag, in red. Mary Jane. Mary Jane. The name danced, leaping off my lips. Mary Jane Murphy. The first in line. How did I know her name, she wanted to know. Well, she forgot she wore a name tag. I wanted to say, a woman like you, who seems to contain two women, needs two first names. What did she do? That's an essential question in America, right? She was a dietitian at Temple Hospital. Uh-oh. This morphed into a discussion about socialized medicine. She knew a lot, knew more than I did, and I was impressed. A woman with an informed opinion. Then I asked, what about those fills? Phillies. She laughed. I remember her smile. Her smile kept me smiling. Would she like to dance? She nodded. Sure. Are you really sure? I'm a nutcase. Well, we slow danced. As you can guess, I did most of the talking, but I kept a respectable distance, wanting to see her face, her smile. As the music picked up, Alec came over, and the three of us danced. Was Alec killing my game? I needed to keep Mary Jane in the game, since Alec's stream of consciousness can tilt the most intellectually and socially adept people. He's one of the fastest flipper lips in the East. Was she giving off weird signals, wondering, do these dudes want to be alone? She excused herself. Okay, she needed to check on her friend, Katherine. Yeah, right, babe. Katherine. Alec and I drifted to the safety of the shore. If she comes back, he said, she's yours. Since I was hooked, I kept an eye on her sinker. After that night, did I gaze at another woman with eyes of love or passion? Nay, daughters. She danced with a guy named Joseph. I hated him. Where's your Technicolor dream coat, man? Jerk. She was not enjoying whatever he thought resembled dancing. He was rubbing junk, his junk, against her, too close. I was so upset. Could I rescue her from this cad? Was your mother actually the one who needed rescuing? Or were my days as a white knight finally and gratefully finis? I kept myself hidden, not wanting her to think some basket case was stalking her. Well, I was. I found my near beer for more liquid courage. She was talking to some woman. Katherine? Where was ED? Well, she headed to the WC. Having the time of your life. I positioned myself knowing she would have to cross my path after she came back from the lavatory. She came out. Would you like to dance again? She agreed. What? Really? This should be no surprise, girls, but again, I talked too much about myself. Did I apologize? Was this a crime against the conventions of conversation? I blabbed about my writing, my readings, my travels in Europe and America, my family, the usual bound bravado. She seemed entertained. I made jokes. She laughed. I claimed to have visited every state in the Union and many European capitals and art museums. Have you ever been to Michigan? Nope. North Dakota? No, not yet. Did she name all the states I never visited? Montana? Alaska? Hawaii? Well, that number went down to at least 44. The second dance lasted the entire evening. We were the last on the floor. Consumed in conversation, I lost awareness of time. During the last dance, I brought her close. After the song, I kissed her. She was startled. I didn't think. I just seized the moment. Was she giving me kissy looks? Well, she claimed later she was not. The kiss was very short, eyes very open, lips very, very closed. And just who was this untutored youth? Was I wrong? Were my actions ungentlemanly? Was I lucky she didn't crack me in the belfry? Would she like to go out? She said, yes. Yes? She rummaged for her business card. It read, Nutrition Health Associates. Uh-oh, she was starting her own consulting business. Whoa. I needed that since I existed on corned beef hash and ketchup. I would call. Set something up for the following weekend. What's a better word for excited? We seemed to fit like puzzle pieces, she was to say later, when she could no longer resist loving me against reason and logic. Oh boy. Such a thrill was new for me. This absorption with another person. I mean, seemingly like both ways, right? Lost in the awareness of the room, my friend, Alec, and myself, I was just, didn't know what I was thinking. I was never at a loss for what to say. And being with your mom was as easy as breathing. My own mom told me later she never saw me so high, and she's seen me with a few beers. Danced one dance with a woman, but that was all. I forgot about him. But I thank God for him. I don't know if I would have gone if he didn't go. Your mother said later I would be a good guy if I had such a good friend who would wait for me this long. And I had to be a good friend. So many intangibles that may have kept us away from that dance. Was it a chance meeting? Or was it, dare I declare, fated? I walked away holding the card firmly in my hand, in my pocket. The judges will decide. I saw her leave with her friend, erectile dysfunction. Okay, stop, Ed. I joined Alec, and then I saw your mother's butt in that skirt. Yeah, right in front of me. Why was she leaving with that guy? Should I say something? Say goodnight? Your mother opened the door for her friend. Your mother was driving, and I knew deep down they were just friends. 14 months later, Ed eventually blessed our wedding. Wow. Yes, it was quick. But now it's 28 years later. Sometimes, well, you just know. I was worried, hoping the sweat from my palm didn't blur the numbers on her business card. The day after, I paced back and forth, wondering about the call. Did I blow it with that impromptu kiss? It was the day before Easter, 1994. I walked up the stairs in your grandmother's house, sat on the bedroom floor, picked up the phone, placed down the phone, walked to the bathroom, walked downstairs, paced the house, and then I went back to the bedroom, closed the door, and breathing hard, punched in the number. Panic. Winner takes almost all. The conversation was as easy as on the dance floor, but no Hillary healthcare debate. My car had no heat, a Civic hatchback with a finicky clutch, and I brought a blanket. It was cold in early April, and taking her to Schindler's List, I had to scrape ice on the inside of the front window. Ice chips flaked into her lap. Was she cold? She nodded. I gave her a blanket. Why would your mother date a poor poet still in grad school? Was it love? Was she taking a risk? Was it my laugh? Did I make her feel good about herself? Because the movie was long, our emotions so drained, the ice cream was delayed. She would take a rain check. Oh, a rain check? A second date? What? And the second date involved a Phillies game where I consumed healthy snacks at the old Veterans Stadium in the 700 section, close to the clouds. I was in heaven after all. We feasted on graham crackers and bananas, and I made her laugh by eating the stringy things off the banana. She saw through my ploy. She was a dietitian at Temple, and as I said, I wanted to impress her. Did it work? Well, the last worked. To save on parking, I parked far from the stadium, close to New Jersey. As I reached back to grab your mother's hand, I saw her smile. I knew. Just knew. She had other dates after, with other guys, and her friends asked about those other dates. But the Phillies game seemed the best. She agreed. I do. A few months later, on September 2nd, 1994, on a rock in Ridley Creek, she agreed to marry me. We had a picnic there after a conflict about boundaries. You know all about this rock. Katherine, there are pictures of you there. It was the foundation to our family, and the families that will come later, if you so desire. And that was how I met your mother. Ask your mother for her version.